Welcome back to One Now. Today is Christmas Eve. That's why I'm wearing this hat. A little bit red, feeling festive right now. I got my PJs on. Got my little Snoopy PJs. But yeah, you guys don't know like half the trouble that I went through to get this hat. So yesterday I went to the gym. I go to Planet Fitness, right? And it's like in the middle of this plaza. So like there's a whole bunch of other stores with it. You know what I'm talking about? So I had to go through 4 different stores to find a hat. Four stores. So there's like this Dollar Tree right next to this gym. So that's where I went first, because I wanted something cheap, something close. Like it was just like right there. So I was just gonna walk over there. So I go in, it's so packed, and I go through like the not Santa, like the Christmas aisle section or whatever, and like all I could find were like a bunch of stockings. So I went there. They didn't have any, and then I went to Shaw's, which is like on the other side of the plaza, and this was like it was like 10 degrees Fahrenheit outside, so it was like really cold. So between each place, like in the plaza, I just drove my car because I didn't really want to walk in the cold, because like whenever I go to the gym, right, like I usually only wear shorts when I leave the house, because like even though it's cold, right, like I'm only gonna be outside for so little, because I park, I go in, do my thing, and then I leave and then just go home in my car, because I don't think I really need sweats if I'm gonna be out there in the cold, probably like 10 seconds at a time. Yeah, so it's cold. I drive my car from Planet Fitness, Dollar Tree, and then to Shaw's. So I go to Shaw's, and they didn't have any. And then also, like, while I'm in these stores, like, I'm probably in there for a good amount, honestly. Because, they don't really have, like, a dedicated, like, Christmas section. So I gotta, like, kind of walk around the store and see where they put everything else. But so I went to Shaw's, and they didn't have any hats either. So I'm like, damn, no way. Second store and I can't find a hat. They have stockings, they have bows, they had this other thing with like, what's it called? Sequins? It was like shiny, like circles or whatever. I forget what it's called. They had this thing and it was red, and I thought it was a hat, but no, it was just like a chair cover. So I'm like, damn, where else could I go next? So, and then I'm like thinking, like, what kind of stores are on the way home, because like I don't want to drive like another 10 minutes just to get a hat. I just want something quick and easy. So the next store I hit up is Price Chopper, because I thought like they would have at least something seasonal in there. And I go in, not a single Christmas item. I'm like, what are you guys doing? You guys don't want to make money on the holidays? Like L tactic, man, L marketing. So then this is my third store, and I'm like, no way. This is my third store and I can't find a Santa hat. Out of all things, like I feel like this is like, something that every store has, just because it's like the holidays. So yeah, I'm like mad because yeah, third store. I'm driving around the entire city. Well, not the entire city, but I'm driving around. And I just want to go home because like I just hit the gym. I hit legs too. That's my least favorite day. I hit legs. My legs are hurting. It's cold outside. I just want to go home. So then I go to my fourth store, Walmart, and then they finally have it. But so I walk into Walmart, right, and then I gotta find the Christmas section. So I'm in there for like a good 10 minutes, and like I find out like the Christmas section is like on the opposite side of where I parked. So I go in, I walk across the entire store to get to the Christmas section. It was in like the gardening section, which like I feel like doesn't make sense, because why would the Christmas stuff be in the gardening stuff? But I guess it's because like they closed down the gardening stuff. Like usually like in the summer they would have that gardening section open, and it would have like plants and hoses and stuff. But I guess they shut it down and then put like the seasonal stuff in there. So I go there. I go to the Christmas section. I just get one hat and that's it. Like that's all I want from the store. And I check out, the guy's like, "This is it." I was like, "Yeah." This is like $1, so that's, at least it was cheap too. Like there's some places that they're like that were selling hats for like probably, I don't know, $8. I feel like that's way too much for a hat. Um, yeah, but so I check out at the gardening section. Like I was gonna get the hat and then go to like self checkout or whatever, because I only have one thing. It should be quick and easy. But they had like this checkout cashier at the gardening section, so I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna cash out here. Yeah, so I bought it. I spent that $1, and then so I bought it at the gardening section, right? And I'm like, do I leave here or do I go through the entire store? But I was thinking, like, I didn't want to go through the entire store because, like, you know how Walmart has those people like at the door, right? So I was like, I don't want to walk through the entire store and leave with just this hat, because I feel like they would think that I'm stealing or something. You know what I mean? So, like, I wanted to avoid that. So I walk out at the gardening section. Like, there's a door to like exit there. So I walk out, and then now, like, remember, I parked on the other side of the Walmart, and the gardening section is on the opposite side. So now I'm outside. I have to walk so far to get back to my car. And mind you, again, this is 10 degrees Fahrenheit. That's really cold, not Celsius. It's 10 degrees, it's freezing. I have shorts on. I hit leg days. My legs are hurting. Like, I was just in pain. And you don't know how big this Walmart is, too. This Walmart is probably, like, I had to walk maybe, like, a whole football field. Maybe two. Actually, two is a little bit much. Maybe, like, 1.5 football fields to get back to my car. And it was so cold. Like, I probably might have gotten hypothermia just for a Santa hat. Like, imagine. But I finally got my hat and I went home, but it honestly took like, so I got out of the gym at like 6:30, and I wanted to like, I was planning to get home at 7. Like, nice and quick, get the Santa hat, just pick it up, go home at 7, because I was planning to film like a video, planning to film something for one of my other videos. But like going around all the stores and everything, it probably took like another hour. Like, it was an hour of me just going to different stores trying to find this one hat. Yo, the things I do for this hat, man, and the show. Hey, but I love y'all. But yeah, that was my yesterday. I'm fitted now, though. I look like one of Santa's elves. Let me get my ear out. Yeah, I just got out of my 16-hour sweat shift, making some toys. But yeah, Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone celebrating. This probably won't be out until like after Christmas. I don't know, maybe until like after New Year's or between Christmas and New Year's. But I'm recording it on Christmas Eve. Because I gotta edit like another video, and I don't know how long that's gonna take. I want to get to that one first. So I don't know when this is gonna be out, but it's Christmas at the time that I'm recording. So yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everyone who's celebrating. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Oh, there's just one thing. So, you know how people say like Happy Holidays to like include every like other, special occasion? Because not everybody celebrates Christmas. Some people celebrate Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. There's the Three Kings Day, I think. So yeah, I say Happy Holidays to include everybody, and I say that like at work, at my restaurant, like, because I don't want to assume, it's safe to say Happy Holidays. I don't want to assume that everyone's celebrating Christmas. So yeah, I say Happy Holidays one time, and then there's like this regular that goes into work, and he's like, I hate when people say happy holidays. I'm like, why? He's like, I hate when people say happy holidays because that's a cheap way of doing it. And I'm like, I say that because not everybody celebrates Christmas. There's other people that celebrate their other own respective holidays. And like, I'm pretty sure like this guy, like this regular that said that he didn't like people saying that, like, I'm pretty sure that guy celebrates Hanukkah. Like, I think he's Jewish because I was talking to him like one day, right? And he was telling me about how he goes to like the synagogue, and he goes there like probably like every week or something, maybe like a Friday, just so like because like the community there isn't really nice. So yeah, he tells me about how he goes to the synagogue. So I'm like, isn't he Jewish? Doesn't he celebrate Hanukkah? I could be completely wrong actually. Is do do Jewish people go to synagogues? Yo, don't quote me on this. I think I think people who go to synagogues are Jewish, and then people who go to mosques are Islamic. Yo, I'm not completely sure, but yo, don't cancel me though. Don't cancel me. This is I'm not saying yeah, don't cancel me. Oh god. This is the second episode and I'm already gonna get canceled. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Jewish people go to synagogues, and I'm pretty sure that guy celebrates Hanukkah. So I was confused why he doesn't like happy holidays because it includes him. Like I don't want to say Merry Christmas to someone that celebrates Hanukkah. But you know what? Actually, like speaking of Jewish people, okay, that sounded pretty rad. Speak- Speaking of Jewish people, like that reminds me of this one dude. He was Jewish, that I used to work with at a restaurant. So this is like around that time that I started working. So I start working. I meet this dude, and then I found out that he just also recently just started. So like we're kind of like new in the restaurant. Like we don't really know anything. So we're just talking and stuff. And then like he probably works like a month or something. This was like during the summer. He probably works like a month or something. And then like one day, like he's just gone. Like he doesn't show up. He doesn't like he did like a no call no show. That's what we call it. And then like we all find out that like okay, let me backtrack. So I'm talking to him, and then like he's new, I'm new, and then I ask him like, oh, like how long do you think you're gonna be here? Is this just like a part-time job for you, full-time? And then he's like, oh yeah, I'm just here because I just need some cash because I'm gonna be in school and I want to find a job while I'm working and in school. So yeah, and then so now we're back to like the day that he doesn't show up. So then we all find out that this guy, like, he moved to Michigan, and he didn't let anyone know. Like he didn't put like his 2 weeks notice in. He doesn't tell like any of the managers. He doesn't tell any of the coworkers except for this one person. He tells the host like apparently like he told the host like a day before he was gonna go to Michigan, but like he told the host he was gonna go to Michigan, but he didn't tell anyone else. So we were just wondering like where did he go? And then we found out that he moved like to the middle of the country. And I'm like, damn, that's actually like a bold move, because you know how like when you're in between like on breaks between school, right? And like it's kind of hard to find a job because like I feel like places wouldn't hire you just because you're gonna be leaving soon. You're not gonna be there for a little bit. I was like thinking like, yo, that's actually kind of smart. Telling employers that like you're gonna be there for a while just to get the job. So like, I mean, him leaving like it didn't really matter much to me. I'm a new guy there, so I was like, damn, that's a bold move. That's pretty smart. But I think it was so funny to me. But yeah, like restaurant work. So I used to work at Applebee's, and like, dude, the stuff that would happen at Applebee's was just so funny. Like all the cooks and the servers, like they would be like flirting with each other, banging each other left and right. Not left and right, but that's just exaggeration. But like in restaurants, like you would hear so much tea, so much drama. I think it's hilarious. Um, but speaking of like Applebee's, and so today's Christmas and New Year's gonna be next week. I remember like it was New Year's Eve one time, and I had to work at Applebee's. But the thing was like, Applebee's, they don't close until like 1 a.m. I remember like I think it was Friday night. They don't close until 1 a.m. and I was scheduled to close that night. So I had to spend one of my New Year's Eves working at Applebee's, and it was so sad, dude. It was so sad. I remember watching the ball drop on the TV, because you know how like in the bar there's like this giant TV or something that they would always have. So I remember watching the ball drop at Applebee's at New Year's Eve, and I'm like, wow, I'm really spending my Christmas Eve like this. It was so sad. But yeah, New Year's is next week. Um, I don't know if people have thought of their resolutions yet. Um, I haven't. I haven't really thought about it much. But I don't know. Maybe it'll be something like, maybe continue this project. Keep going with this project. I don't know yet. But I was talking to a couple people, and like they already know the resolutions. I'm like, wow, you guys thought far ahead of this. You guys know how like a lot of people say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna try and be more healthy for New Year's. I'm like, what's stopping you now though? I hate New Year's because of the part where like now when I'm gonna be going to the gym, it's gonna be so packed. Like I'm gonna have to wait for a while to get on one of the machines or like a bench or something, and it's just so crowded. And now I'm gonna have to stay at the gym for a longer time when I just want to go in, do a quick workout and then go home. But I hate those people who are like, yeah, I'm gonna start working on my fitness for New Year's. Well, I don't hate them for that. Like, I'm glad, I'm glad that they're taking the initiative to better themselves, right? But then like, if you're gonna say that and then only go to the gym for like a couple months and fall off, like, what's the point? What's the point? How many people do you think like actually go through with their resolutions? Like how long do you think they last? I want to say like maybe 2-3 months before they stop. But I guess it depends on like what the resolution is. But this is mainly like I'm speaking mainly about like people being more fit for their resolutions. Yeah, but I don't really know what my resolution is. I haven't really thought about it. 2025 is my year, new year, new me. I think it's hilarious when people say that. I think it's even more funny when like people keep saying that for like for every new year. They're like, yeah, 2024 was not it. I'm up 2025. And then next year you see the same thing. 2025 is not it. New year, new me, 2026. Like, come on. I think it's hilarious though. But yeah, New Year's 2025. That's exciting. That's actually halfway through the decade. Do you guys remember like 2020? Like, that was obviously COVID. But I remember it hitting 2020, and then everyone was like, wow, a new decade's gonna come out. But I think it was so crazy for 2020 because like we realized like this is the decade that like Gen Z is gonna have like their own kids and families and start like settling down, which is crazy to me. Like I can't even imagine like where I would be in like 3 years, not even like 1 year. Like maybe in 1 year I hope, right? So in 1 year I hope I find a job a different job, like with my degree or something. Right now, I'm still applying. I just passed my test, so hopefully I'll be somewhere different in 1 year. I don't know what else to. I don't know what else would be different. Yeah, I don't really think that far. Like I don't even know what I'm gonna be doing next week. Um, what was I saying? Yeah. But in 1 year, I hope I'm alive. That's all I ask for. That's all I ask for. Um, but yeah, 2025. It's exciting. Um, have you? I wonder, like, how is being in Times Square on New Year's Eve? Because I always see it on TV. It's always so packed. Everyone's like shoulder to shoulder. They're being like barricaded by like this iron fence or whatever. I always see that on TV, and I see like all the performances. There's like one time like Mariah Carey, she was performing, Miley Cyrus. I think it'd be cool, but I think it'd be such a hassle to go though. Like, so New York, you gotta find like your own hotel, and then you gotta go around the streets. It's so packed. Like everyone's there for New Year's. So like chances are, if you want to go to like a restaurant, you probably have to reserve it like way in advance. And it's so cold. But what's that? What's that thing going around? Like for New Year's, like you should have grapes under your table on your table. I forget, but like I think it's supposed to mean like if you have grapes, I think it's supposed to mean that like you're gonna be cuffed by the end of the year. I think. Which is like, who thinks of these things? Like who thinks of these like superstitions? Like who else? Like who thinks about like why does Santa have elves? Why does he have elves to work for him? Like, is he like are they his slaves? I don't know if I should be saying that, but like who came up with the idea that like there's elves working for him in like his sweatshop? Like, isn't he supposed to be like this merry, jolly dude? Like, why is he making people working, little tiny people especially? Why is he making them work in a sweatshop? Like, is it good conditions? Like, is this like Sheen Timu conditions? Like, Santa, what are you doing, man? What are you doing with all these tiny children? Who knows, man? And he's breaking into people's houses, giving gifts. Like, if that were to happen with like someone, like if he were a real person and he's breaking into people, and he's making these children work in sweatshops, like, I don't know if that would pass today. I don't know if that would pass today. And like as a kid, I always thought like the North Pole was actually a real place. Hold on, I gotta adjust this camera a little bit. But I always thought like the North Pole was this real place. And like every single time I saw the map, right? Oh god. Every single time I saw the map, I would always like look at in the north. You know how like there's like this huge landmass out you know how there's Antarctica in the south? Like there's like this huge landmass. It's all snow. There's polar bears, penguins. Like I thought North Pole would be something like that, like a Antarctica in the north. Yeah, let me actually open the map real quick. Yeah. So Antarctica is its own continent down there, and then in the North Pole, there's nothing. There's nothing. And I didn't really find that out until like I don't know, when I was like 6 or something, when I first discovered like geography and maps and stuff. But like what I want to hear like the craziest stories of like when people find out that Santa isn't real. Like as a kid, I always thought he was real. So like there was one night where I left out milk and cookies like on the window, hoping that he would eat it or something. And like I think the next day I woke up and the cookies and milk were still there. So like I think that's how I found out actually. So like I put cookies out. I put cookies out for him, thinking that like it would be gone the next day, and I woke up and it's still there. So I think I just ruined it for myself. Like that's how I found out that Santa wasn't real. Which was like, damn. I really did that to myself. It really be your own. Um, um, yeah, but I. That's just so sad. And then like if you ruin it for the kid, like that just makes you even more of a douche. Like, imagine just putting that on a kid. Like Santa isn't real. Like you gotta be a real Grinch to do that. But speaking of the Grinch, like, have you guys seen this thing? How it's like, yo, I got knee surgery tomorrow. Yo, I keep seeing that around the internet. Like, yeah, I gotta sleep early. I have my knee surgery tomorrow. And for the longest time I was like, what does this mean? What is knee surgery? Like I thought knee surgery was just like a joke. Like you know how like I don't know if you guys seen the movie White Chicks. You know how like the girls are like, oh, you guys are so much taller, and then like the guys in disguise they're like, oh yeah, we got our knees done. That could be a very I think that's what it is. Like I think that's from the movie. It could also be like from another joke, which is kind of racist, so I'm not gonna say it. But it's gotta do something with your knees. Um, but so yeah, I always thought like it was a joke, right? And I keep seeing it. I keep seeing it for like a week, maybe even more than a week. Yeah, I got knee surgery tomorrow. It would always be like a picture of the Grinch. So I'm confused. I look it up on TikTok because you know how like there's like the blue comments or something, and you can just tap on it and then it'll bring up like the whole thing. So I look at like knee surgery meaning, and I can't find anything. And like it was bugging me for the longest time. Like that was like the first time that I actually felt like a boomer. Like I couldn't like I didn't understand like the new slang. Well, I don't even think it's slang. It's just like this new meme. Like I just didn't know what it meant for the longest time. And then I talked to one of my coworkers about it. I was like, what does knee surgery mean? Like I keep seeing it everywhere, and they're just telling me like it's just about like this kid made a video for his uncle, grandpa, dad, I forget, something like that. He made this video for like his family member because he was getting surgery, and like the kid said like, yeah, I got knee surgery tomorrow, and it's just to make him feel better. And I guess like it caught on, and then everyone was starting to say knee surgery. So like it doesn't even really mean anything. It's just like people are doing it just because they know like people are gonna be confused, and it doesn't actually mean anything. So yeah, every single time I see the Grinch, I think of knee surgery. And I think it's just, yeah, one of the first times I felt like a boomer. But I can't wait until like I'm old and then there's going to be new technology. And then I'm going to be bugging my kids. And I'm going to be like, how do you use this? You know? Like, come here. What is this? What does this mean? Because I'm like, guys, the trauma that I have to go through to explain like technology to my parents, like, yeah, I gotta tell them every single thing. And then like, so my mom, right, she's not very fluent in English, and she always comes up to me asking like, oh, how do I do this on the iPhone or whatever. And her phone's also in English. So I'm like, Mom, why don't you switch the language on your phone so you can understand it more? And then she's like, no, 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 I want to keep it English so I can learn. If you want to keep it English so you can learn, then why do you keep asking me for help every single time you're confused about the phone? Like, right? Like, I feel like it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, like, I have to keep explaining technology to my parents. So I can't wait until I'm older and do that to my kids. And I pass on the trauma. You know what I mean? But I don't know if anyone else has gone through this. Like, being a kid, being like the kid of immigrants who moved here, don't know any English. Like, do you guys know how they would always make you translate papers for them? Like, my parents would have me translating government papers for them. And like me, I'm like 8 years old at this point. I'm like, gross pay? I don't know what gross pay means. Is that just like dirty money? Like, I don't understand why they made us go through all of that at 8 years old when all we were learning in school was like, I don't know, the lazy fox jumps over the brown dog or something, and we're like practicing the multiplication tables. Like, at that point, how are you supposed to know what gross pay means? It was so traumatic. And then like also doing the FAFSA with my immigrant parents, like every single time I had to do that, like every year, I would just be like, it'd just be a stressful time for me, because like the FAFSA, they ask you so many questions about your family's income and stuff. It would be asking you like, I don't know, how much are your dependables, contributables, I don't know, I forget, but they ask like some complicated stuff, like stuff I don't even know. So then like every single time I would have to do my FAFSA, like I would sit down with my parents, right? And I would go through every single question with them. Like, I pull up my laptop, I show them the screen, I go through it question by question. And like, I don't know what they mean. They don't know what it means. So like, we're trying to figure it out together. And like, also like, I'm trying to translate the questions so like they understand better. But then like, even then like, my Viet isn't even that perfect. Like, I don't know how to say like, yeah, like how many dependable, or how many, like what is the current worth of your assets? I don't know how to say that in Viet. Like, I didn't grow up in Vietnam. So it was just so hard trying to do the FAFSA with them. And it would be every single year. So like around that time, I would just get stressed. And like, I would get scared because like, I didn't want to answer a question wrong. Because I didn't want to go to like jail for fraud or something, you know what I mean? Like, why do they have to make the FAFSA so complicated? I'm very glad that I don't have to do it anymore. Like, I'm out of school, so I don't have to fill it out anymore, which is great. Like, I hope everyone else that has to go through it with their immigrant parents that struggle or who aren't as fluent in English, like, good luck to y'all. And it's kind of getting dark right now. Let me turn up that thing. But I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be doing anything tomorrow for Christmas, because again, my family doesn't celebrate. It's just like a normal day for them. Like, my dad has the whole week off, or the rest of the week, and then he's using like, or he has today, Christmas Eve, and then tomorrow, Christmas off. And then he's using like the rest of his sick days. He's like cashing them out. So then he's not going to be working like the rest of this week, and then a little bit of next week up until New Year's. And then same with my mom too. So it's just like, Christmas is just like a normal day for them. Like, all they do is just like sit, watch TV. Sometimes my dad drinks. Like, he drinks beer, my mom drinks wine, and then they sing karaoke together, which is nice. And I joined them one time, but it was funny because I've never done it before. And every single time like my dad drinks, like if he's drunk, like he's just gonna start lecturing you. So like I joined them one night, and I was drinking with my dad, and then we're a couple beers in, and like I wanted to like talk to him, have some fun conversations. And then like most of the time he was just telling me like, oh yeah, now that you have a degree. Now it's time to find a job. And then he's asking me about if I have a girlfriend, and he's like saying like, oh, if you have like a friend, like a girlfriend, you gotta keep them close. Maybe asking that on a date. I'm like, Dad, not every friend that is a girl is like a potential girlfriend. I mean, yes, but like that's not my first thought when I'm friends with them. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to like hit on every girl like friend that who's a girl I see. I feel like that's weird. Like things are different back then. But yeah, he was lecturing me, so like I was like, damn, I don't know if this was a move. I mean, it was fun though because I got to sing like a couple songs with him, a couple karaoke songs with him. But I only did like 2 songs because like they only do Viet karaoke songs, right? And again, I don't really know Viet that well, and I don't really listen to Viet music like that much. Like I listen to it, like there's a bunch of songs on my playlist, but like I don't know it enough to like to be able to sing it. Like I know how to read Viet, so I can get along or I can get by with like just reading the lyrics on the screen if I listen to the song a couple times. But yeah, so I did like 2 songs, and that's all I knew how to do. So that was fun. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be drinking with my parents again, only because my dad keeps lecturing me every single time that he drinks. Like, Dad, I'm 22 now. Like, I know what I'm doing. Like, if you were to talk to me before, like 18, like I understand. Maybe I'm just saying this because I feel like I'm grown. But yeah, I understand if you would do it if I was like 18. But I have a college degree. I feel like I'm a full-on adult now. I think I know what I'm doing. But yeah, my parents aren't really gonna do anything. I might do something with a couple buddies tomorrow. Maybe go out, do some drinks. Do some drinks. Drink some drinks. But I realized like for Christmas, I feel like there's not much to do other than like give gifts and then maybe like have a dinner or something. Like I mean, I guess like you can watch like a Christmas movie, but like there's only so many Christmas movies, you know what I mean? Like what else do you do? Build a gingerbread house? You could do that. But I don't know what else you would do on Christmas. Um, but going back to the movies, I think the number one Christmas movie, like my absolute favorite, is The Polar Express. I think that's a golden movie. You know, the one with like I just remember seeing like people wear like that pink, what do you call it? Like the pink pajamas, and then there's that girl and she sits like this or something. And I think it's hilarious when people like dress up as her. But Polar Express, I think, number one Christmas movie of all time. Used to watch that so much as a kid. Like they would let us watch it at school, and you know how like they would they would push in this cube TV, like one of those box TVs, like on this cart. Like the moment that you saw them push one of those things into the classroom, like you knew it was gonna be a good day. And I just remember so like vividly just watching Polar Express on one of those TVs. But I think Home Alone was alright. It was good like the first time we watched it, but then like I feel like its replay enjoyment value, I don't know what it's called. Like I don't know, I think it's alright rewatching it. I could watch Polar Express again though. Santa Paws was a good one. It's like dogs. I love how they have like this whole like franchise though. Like there's Santa Paws, and then oh, I forgot what it's called. But it's like they have another movie with the dogs, and like they're playing basketball or whatever. That one's a good one too. That one is a good one. But yeah, I feel like there's not much else to do on Christmas. Like give gifts, drink, eat, I think that's about it. But there's that, and then New Year's, like, I guess the same thing. I think New Year's, you just drink, and you just watch the ball drop. But like also like drinking on New Year's Eve, like if you go crazy, like I don't understand why we have to go so hard on New Year's Eve because like you're gonna start the new year, like the first day of the year, like hungover. Like I feel like that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess like you're celebrating the end of the year, but then like you wake up shit the next day. That's how you start your year 2025. But I don't know. I don't know. There's some weird traditions out there. Um, I think the weirdest tradition is the elf on the shelf though for Christmas. I think that thing is terrifying. Like if I was a kid and I would wake up and it would be in a different place every day, like I would be scared shitless, dude. Like I think dolls, especially the elf on the shelf, I think dolls are terrifying already. So if I see that thing moving every day and it's watching me, and then my parents are like, "Oh, don't do anything bad in front of it," like I would be scared of like Chucky, right? So if I saw the elf on the shelf and I saw that thing move, like I would actually run away. Like I would pack my bags and then I don't know go somewhere. But you know how like as kids we would always think of running away. Like I remember there's like I saw this thing, like there was this kid that he was packing up a suitcase or something because I think he said like there weren't any chicken nuggets. So he packed it up, he left the house, like he saw him leave the house that they were recording. And then he comes back like 5 seconds after because like realistically like as a kid, like you always say that you would run away. But then like where are you gonna go after you leave? I think it's so funny though. I need some water. Yeah, this hat is actually very comfy for being $1. I actually think that might be it though. What am I at? 43 minutes. Whoa. Yeah, I think that might be it. Again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Happy Day of the Three Kings. And Happy New Year. I don't know when this is gonna be out, but Happy New Year. I hope you all have a good holidays. Hope you enjoy your time with your loved ones. And have a great year. Peace.